What's up, gang? Case here with our at-home strength work for Wednesday, November 25th. We've got 4 rounds today, 30-second pike hold, and then a core complex. On these pike holds, we've got a few different options today. Foundational piece here is going to be a good inchworm. So if you're not quite ready to get inverted on that box, you can sub out these inchworms instead. We want stiff hands, trying to fold over as much as we can. That's going to start to mimic what it's going to be like to be upside down holding your weight. We want fingertips straight forward, stiff arms on that walkout, good plank. Give me your best push up in the bottom. That'll help build some of that upper body strength that'll get you into this inverted position eventually. You can do 5 inchworms instead of our 30-second holds today. If we're going up onto the box, first option is going to be knees on the box. If we're going knees on box, let's go a little bit higher on our box height, and that's just going to help bring our hips up a bit more, which is going to get our torso a little closer to being perfectly inverted. So we're pushing those hips towards the sky, squeezing that belly tight, pressing through the ground. Hand position here should be directly underneath our shoulders, so not very wide. We want those fingertips to be straight forward, not pointed out to the side. When you're inverted, make sure that we're looking at that box today. We'll eventually get to where we're looking down between our hands, but to facilitate that upright torso, we're just going to look straight back at that box to start. If we're going to go toes on box, that'll be our last option. Let's drop that box down a bit more because we're going to have a different hinge point using our toes. Keep those feet close together. Drive those hips up as you walk back, and then same thing. Hips go high, belly tight, push through the ground. It's the little details that matter on those gymnastics movements. So you can walk back, get your hips kind of high and just hang out and not be active, or you can push those hips a couple inches higher, really squeeze tight through that belly, get full extension out of the shoulder, and that's how you get better at those gymnastics movements. After our pike holds today, we'll rest about a minute, and then we'll go into our weighted core complex. We've got 10 butterfly kicks holding a weight over our chest. So we're pressing into this. You can go ahead and bring your head off the ground for this one. We're going to point these toes, keeping our legs as straight as we can. Hang on just a second, Mav. We want to make sure that our low back stays on the ground and that we're squeezing our quads and squeezing our butt. As far as counting reps on these, every time you pump both legs, 1, 2, 3, that's a rep. From there, we'll plant our feet flat on the ground. Head will start on the ground, and then you're going to curl or you're going to press this dumbbell straight to the ceiling while you crunch your abs down to your belly button. So your vertebrae roll off the ground one at a time, starting with the neck and then going into the upper back. Those mid to lower vertebrae stay on the ground. So make sure you're not rolling forward and sitting up. You're pressing that dumbbell straight up and just lifting that upper half of the back. After those 10 crunches, we'll go into 10 weighted rocks. Weighted rocks today can be bent knee, one leg straight, or both legs straight, just adding an extra layer of difficulty to this rock. Dumbbell presses straight up. Keep that body long as you rock back, and you're just going to lift those hips up off the ground. So different options that you can, or you have to do all 3 movements to get through the complex. So you'll go from 10 of the butterfly kicks right into 10 of the crunches, and then right into 10 of the rocks. On those butterfly kicks, if you're maintaining, or if you're struggling to maintain that low back on the ground, we can always sub in a dead bug instead. So still pressing into this object, keeping low back on the ground, and extending one leg at a time. That'll build the foundation to be able to squeeze that butt, keep that leg long, and keep that low back on the ground. I think we'll all be able to manage these bent knee crunches well enough. And then on those rocks, if that double leg long is too difficult, go to one leg long. If you do that, do 5 on one and then 5 on the other. Or if that's too difficult, we can go to both knees bent. 4 total rounds today, 1 minute rest in between. Remember, or 1 minute rest in between each movement. Remember, it's the details that matter on this gymnastic stuff. So really focus on squeezing those bellies down and keeping those shoulders pressed out and active regardless of the movement that we're working on. Good luck on that, and I'll see you back for our Metcon here in a bit.